قومي الحكومة ما في دواء أنت تجو دواء هنا ممكن كان بنادور ولا حاجة تانية ولجوت دفع غير 5,000 ولا 10,000 جنيه يلا بروسا كده بيشيلوا ساكت عشان كده نادرين ناس بتاعنا شغالين في منظمات ولا شغالين في حكومة ناس يا جماعة كده سويا ناس ينظر وطنية تبلده بروسا سو كانتا كومو إذا ما بروسا بعد مين ملين ناس ملين لبعد وفات بروسا ساكاي لكن إنسانية ده كانتا عمره أنا كده بكرة ربنا بارك وتبيان بتاعك لكن سرقة القامل في بلد بتاعنا ده سرقة بطال ودخل في منظمات ومنظمات قاموا بريك أب تبي تقول منظمة ده يلا بس في يلا منظمة ده أتوقع كلام يلا كده من النهاية كل جروب المفروض بدي له مساكين ده.
Sounds of the week on iRadio. Live from Juba, on air and online.
This is iRadio News.
Hello, this is iRadio News. First, here are the headlines. The National Government Service Cluster has officially adopted a $9 million cholera outbreak response plan. The governor of Northern Bahar El Ghazali State has urged Dinka Malwal and Sudanese Rizika to resolve conflict and maintain peace at the conclusion of a 3-day pre-migration conference on Wednesday. And the Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology says continued delays in exam marking have a direct link to missed scholarship opportunities for graduate students. This is stories and more coming to you in this news bulletin with me, Lasuba Memo, and now the news in detail. The National Government Service Cluster has officially adopted a $9 million US cholera outbreak response plan. The National Cholera Response Memo was tabled by James Hothmai, the acting Minister of Health, during a cluster meeting chaired by Vice President and Service Cluster Chairperson Josephine Lagu. The plan aims to curb morbidity and mortality due to cholera by strengthening coordination, mechanisms, and response infrastructure. According to Dr. Kuyok Abol Kuyok, the Minister of General Education and Instruction, funding for the response is partially secured. The Vice President is expected to present the adopted memo to the President next week to expedite the implementation process. The Minister of General Education and Instruction, Dr. Kuyok Abol Kuyok, announced a cholera response plan on the state-run TVSSBC last evening.
Has a budget of $9 million USD. Our partners have contributed $6 million, and the government is required to pay $3 million. The meeting adopted the memo for the urgency of the case of the situation. We have adopted the memo plan, and Her Excellency the Vice President is going to present the memo to His Excellency the President by next week, so that we'll be able to try and put this plan in.
The Minister of General Education and Instruction, Dr. Kuyok Abol Kuyok, says over 55,000 cholera cases, including 100 deaths, have been reported since the outbreak last year. He added that the outbreak spans 49 counties, including the 2 administrative areas. Recent outbreaks occurred in Kapoita, South County, and Maiwut County. In Maiwut, 41 cases were confirmed, with 5 people dead, while 30 are recovering.
Was a memo from the Ministry of Health presented by General James Hothmai, the acting Minister of Health, on the government's response plan to the cholera outbreak. The response plan aims to reduce the morbidity and mortality associated with the disease through improving the coordination mechanism and strengthening the structures to mitigate the outbreak. The disease has been recorded 49 counties, including the 2 administrative areas. The Ministry of Health has reported about over 55,000 cases, with 1,000 than fatalities. The disease is particularly prevalent among the pastoralist communities. This week, there were new cases of cholera reported in Capoeira South County and Maywood County. In Maywood alone, 41 cases were reported. 30 patients are recovering, but sadly, we lost 5 people. There's a team from the Ministry of Health that is being prepared to be dispatched to Maywood County on Saturday.
On Tuesday, the Vice President and Chairperson of the Service Cluster called on President Kiir to appoint a new Minister of Health to address ongoing disease outbreaks reported in various parts of South Sudan. Speaking on the pressing need for coordinated government intervention, Vice President Josephine Lagu emphasized that the absence of a health minister is hampering efforts to combat cholera and mpox outbreaks. According to the chairperson of the service cluster, she had formally raised these concerns with the president, citing the urgency of stabilizing the Ministry of Health. The governor of Northern Bahar El Ghazal state has urged Denka Malwal and Sudanese Riziga to resolve conflict and maintain peace at the conclusion of a 3-day pre-migration conference on Wednesday. Simon Ober Mahwood called on the two communities to address inter-cattle rustling and maintain cordial relations in order to benefit from their long-standing cross-border trade and exchange. Mahwood urged the communities to tackle cattle rustling and maintain good relations to benefit from their cross-border trade.
نتفاكر كل ونشوف انه منو اكلوا شنو الناس اللي بيعملوا زي ما ذكروا قبل المجرمين اللي يسرقوا افكار بين الناس. ولكن مش عشان انه نحن جايين نبدا سلام عشان نقعد زي ما احنا عايزين. السلام ده بنمضوه زي ده، لكن نحن التعايش السلمي ده حاجه ربنا خلقه معانا هنا، وما في زول لو كان في دينجا ملوان ولا في الزيتات اللي بيقول يا اخي انا ما داير نقعد مع فلان. وفي ناس هنا ناس بكرمت ناس منو في ناس فرياد هنا عندهم ناس في الزيتات.
The annual conference unites the Dinka Malwal community and the Riziga nomads from Sudan to discuss key issues, primarily granting the Riziga access to South Sudanese territory for cattle grazing during the dry season. During the 3-day discussions held in Yamlel town, Awil East County, the two communities resolved, among other things, to remove obstacles affecting Riziga traders' entry to the market, such as immigration requirements. It was also agreed that an intentional murder must be compensated with 41 heads of cattle, 21 heifers, and 20 bulls. The Rizigat representative Mohammed Banani Hamad said there have been new cases of cattle raiding in large numbers and would like the conference to come up with a strong measure to address it.
حقا نحن حضرنا إلى هذا المؤتمر برئاسة السيد الناظر محمود موسى إبراهيم موسى ماديبو ناظر عموم الرزيقات، وقضينا 3 أيام مع أخواننا دينكا ملوال بنناقش قضايا السلام اللي بتخصنا نحن وبتخص مجتمع الدينكا. والحقيقة نحن درجنا على إننا سنويا نجتمع ونقيم مؤتمر عشان نراجع شنو الحصل وشنو الجديد ونراجع مقررات المؤتمر. حقيقة العام الماضي كان عام كويس خالص، عام جميل ما فيه أي مشكلة، واجتمعنا في السنة اللي فاتت في المؤتمر الماضي ما كان فيه مشاكل كثيرة. هذا المؤتمر في هذا العام برضو يعني بس فوق حقيقة بعض الأحداث اللي بدأت تظهر تطل حاجة جديدة ما كانت موجودة، اللي هي السرقات بتاعت المواشي بكميات كبيرة.
The conference was supported by the United Nations Mission in South Sudan. Alfred Zuzu, the representative of UNMISS, assured the two communities of the organization's continued support to activities encouraging peaceful coexistence between themselves.
The United Nations wishes to emphasize that we will continue to support your office, to support the Dinka Malwa, to support the Lizgard Joint Border Peace Committee in the formation and the conduct of these conferences, because they play an important role in ensuring coexistence between the two groups of people who have lived together for more than 200 years. It is in this regard that the United Nations will continue to put money, will make available personnel, will support all kinds of initiatives to ensure that this process takes place. We also hope that the resolution which will be passed here today are going to be implemented efficiently to ensure that no one is left behind. We get concerned when we hear that sometimes the process of compensation takes longer than is expected.
You're listening to iRadio News. The Minister of Higher Education, Science and Technology says continued delays in exam marking have a direct link to missed scholarship opportunities for graduate students. Madud Biariel blamed this on the delayed payment of exam markers, preventing students from meeting scholarship application deadlines. He further revealed plans to meet with vice chancellors across South Sudan to investigate the cause of these delays and engage directly with lecturers and exam markers to ensure the timely completion of grading. Vice chancellors of public universities continue to raise alarm of unpaid salaries, saying the financial instability strains daily university operations, demoralizes staff and leaderships, and harms the quality of education. Despite multiple appeals to the Ministers of Finance and Higher Education, the issue of funding remains unresolved, leaving senior academic staff in financial hardship. Minister Madud was speaking to the state-run SSBC after meeting with the Ethiopian ambassador to South Sudan yesterday.
I'm going actually to meet with the vice chancellors of various universities in South Sudan so that we discuss and then see what were the problems that were actually leading to delay in the correction of the exam so that we can actually improve our situation and also to talk to lecturers or markers to correct exam on time so that our students get time to apply for scholarship. Because sometimes delaying in exam, it affects our students. Delaying correction of the exam affects our students when it comes to scholarship. So we need to do our part as the ministry to finish everything on time.
The economic cluster has formed a special committee to review taxation and fees related to fuel products and other financial charges currently imposed under the Financial Act. The decision was reached in a meeting chaired by Vice President Dr. Benjamin Bolmel and attended by Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority and Ministers of Trade and Finance. The meeting held on Thursday was also attended by Director Generals of the Civil Aviation Authority and the Economic Intelligence Unit. Simon Akwai Deng, the Commissioner General of the National Revenue Authority, spoke to SSBC after the meeting. He said the committee's main goal is to analyze fuel-related taxes and charges, especially those affecting the pricing of Jet 1, diesel, and petrol. Deng stated that the committee will be looking at the prices of fuel products, especially on taxation and fees charged on licenses or other fines. The aim is to help reduce fuel prices. He said these charges at airports have led to complaints from airlines. The committee will report its findings to the Vice President and the Minister of Finance with the aim of adjusting or removing charges that contribute to increased fuel prices or are outside the legal framework of the Financial Act.
They will be looking at the prices of fuel products, especially on taxation and fees that are charged either on licenses or on other fines that may be coming forth from authorities. So the committee will be looking at this, and the aim is to be able to drop down the prices of Jet1, diesel, and petrol. In regards to the Financial Act, yes, there are provisions and there are also charges being levied at the airport, and all these are going to be addressed by the committee that includes the Revenue Authority, the Civil Aviation Authority, the Minister of Trade, the Minister of Finance, and of course the Economic Intelligence Unit, so that at least we address the complaints from the airlines that the fuel prices have gone up on the petroleum products. So that is why the meeting was conducted this morning, and the committee will be able to report back to the Vice President and the Minister of Finance on the findings reviewing the Financial Act and also other fees that are charged that may not be within the financial.
Before we move to the international arena, civil society organizations in the restive Upper Nile State say dozens of inmates are stuck in Malakal prison as there is no judge to hear their cases after the previous one left months ago for medical treatment. The activist called on the judiciary to urgently deploy a resident judge to Malakal to fill the vacuum that has left inmates awaiting trial. The demand comes after members of the civil society network visited Malakal Central Prison yesterday. During the visit, the Secretary General of the network, William McCall, raised concerns about the growing number of pre-trial detainees and worsening prison conditions. According to the Director of the Prison and Reforms Administration, the facility currently holds 134 inmates, 90 of whom are on remand, 35 convicted, and 12 juveniles. The prison officials said the lack of a resident judge has significantly contributed to the overcrowding. Meanwhile, a call revealed that the only judge previously assigned to the Malakal reportedly left the town for medical treatment several months ago and has not been replaced since. He also stated there was a judge sent from Rang County, but he stayed for only 1 month and left the area. When contacted by iRadio, the Upper Nile State Minister of Information, Peter Ngojo, confirmed the situation. He acknowledged that the judge had left for treatment and cited poor working conditions, lack of funding, and inadequate accommodations as key reasons judicial officers avoid assignments to Malakal. This is iRadio News, and now we move to the international arena. This is Madrama James.
Ethiopia's main opposition party has condemned a ban on its activities, saying it poses a serious threat to the 2022 peace deal that ended 2 years of conflict in the northern Tigray region. The Tigray People Liberation Front (TPLF) has called for the African Union to mediate with the federal government after the electoral agency revoked its legal status as a party. The party, which governs Tigray and dominated the entire country for many years, was on Wednesday banned for failing to hold a general assembly. The winners of the first ever climate fiction prize has been announced as Nigerian author Abi Dari. The University of Wolverhampton law graduate has been awarded the inaugural prize for her novel And So I Roar, a squeeze to her best-selling debut, The Girl with the Louding Voice. Dari, who lives in Exeter, says as a black British Nigerian woman, receiving this prize is a reminder that we do not need to wait for permission to step into a global conversation or contour our stories to fit a certain lens. At least 50 people have been killed in reported Israeli attacks in northern Gaza, according to the Hamas-run Civil Defense Agency. Palestinians in the north say Israel launched a large-scale ground, air, and sea assault in the early hours of Friday morning. The Israeli military is here to comment. According to residents, the assault began with a smoke bomb beverages followed by intense artillery shelling from nearby Israeli positions.
Thanks, Madrama James. And now we move to the world of sports, and here is Darlington Moses. Good afternoon, Darlington.
In the world of sport today, let's start with the domestics updates. In a greater fixture at Bullock Stadium yesterday, Youngster Turid and Lion Hunters Yei played out a 0-0 draw in the 26th round of the South Sudan Premier League. Youngster entered the match with only 9 players after striker Thomas Lokole and goalkeeper Sebit Leno were both sent off, making a hard-fought point for the Turid side. Youngster Turid now climbs to 14 points, staying in 13th place, while Lion Hunters Yei moves to 15th points, maintaining 12th place. Isaac Friday, defender and captain of Lion Hunter Yei, earned the Man of the Match award from his commanding performance and leadership throughout the game. In today's matches, Bantu City, showing renewed form, will take on Jammus, a side chasing the league's top position. In the second clash, league leaders Holy Family Rumbek face Olympic rank in what is expected to be a high-stakes encounter. The organizing committee of the South Sudan South Sudan Football Association, SSFA, has officially announced that the 2024-2025 South Sudan National League will begin on Saturday, May 17th, 2025. The announcement followed a committee meeting held on Sunday, May 11th in Juba, where final preparations were confirmed. The league will feature 13 First Division champions representing various local football associations from across South Sudan. Group A matches will be hosted in Awil, while Group B matches will take place in Juba. All teams have been urged to report to their respective venues on time to ensure a smooth start. The top team from each group will gain automatic promotion to the South Sudan Premier League for the next season, making it high-stakes tournament for rising clubs. The National League serves as a key platform to spotlight emerging talent and deepen football development across the nation. And in NBA, Nikola Jokic scored 29 points and recorded 14 rebounds as the Denver Nuggets beat the Oklahoma City Thunder 119-107 to force a decisive seventh game in the Western Conference semi-final series. Denver headed into Thursday's match 3-2, down in the series after squandering late leads in games 5 and 6, but fought back after halftime to earn a trip to Oklahoma City for Game 7 on Sunday, 18th March. This is all in the sport updates and roundups, and back to you, Lasuba Memo.
Thanks, Darlington Moses. This is iRadio News, and to end this bulletin, here is a recap of the headlines. The National Government Service Cluster has officially adopted a $9 million cholera outbreak response plan. The governor of Northern Bahar El Ghazal State has urged Dinka Malol and Sudanese Riziga to resolve conflict and maintain peace at the conclusion of a 3-day pre-migration conference on Wednesday. And the Minister of Higher Education, Science, and Technology says continued delays in exam marking have a direct link to missed scholarship opportunities for graduate students. That's the end of our radio news. If there is a story or an event you'd like our radio to cover or report about, please send us a text message at +211 925 287 It's also a WhatsApp number. Follow us on X at iRadio Juba, like our Facebook page, iRadio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at iRadio South Sudan. You can also visit our website and listen to us online at www.iradio.org. Stay tuned for the news in Arabic at 1:30. I am Lasuba Memo. Thanks for listening.